that Clay Helton can finish. But I don't know if it's him or it's USC, because this seems to have been a trend even before Helton took charge.
Well, I certainly think that tradition, that campus, everything USC brings is probably its strongest selling point. I don't think any one particular coach, certainly not after their first full season, is going to be a better salesperson than the campus itself. But you're right. He closed really well. He closed strongly last year, and this year, though, if anyone earned their paycheck today, it was Clay Helton, for sure. That guy, I don't know if this is too dated of a reference, but that guy is absolutely the Mariano Rivera of college national signing day, because that guy, just recruit after recruit. They had about 6 main targets. They got all of them. They lost, I think, one guy they were sort of talking to, Aubrey Solomon. They lost him to Michigan. All of the verbal commits they had coming in stuck with them. There was no flips. There was a little bit of a scare with their 5-star running back, Stephen Carr, but he came on board as well. Pretty much everything you could have wanted to go right for USC today did go right.
It's hard for me to imagine that things don't normally go right for USC, considering and you alluded to it, what's in their corner in regards to selling to a recruit. So unless you've got a questionable coach, Lane Kiffin, unless you've got scholarship reductions all over the place and this kid wants to win and sees the writing on the wall that it's going to be difficult, unless you've got those challenges, if you're even, or even if you're a little bit behind on the closing stretch, USC can certainly close it because they can say, hey, look at the sky on your last visit. Feel the warm temperatures. Look at the other sights around you, whether they be aesthetic or otherwise, and that's got to be a big selling point.
Yeah, and it also helps that Southern California in particular is just a hotbed for football talent. California, very large population, has lots of great football players, a lot of concentration down in Southern California. No disrespect to our friends over in Westwood, but UCLA, for the most part, doesn't necessarily compete all the time with USC for those top recruits. So in a lot of ways, USC is kind of the main show, certainly in California. And now they're going out to Texas and Florida and going across the country and getting recruits too. So, being in Los Angeles helps. Being in a place where the weather's always gorgeous helps. But I have to say, a lot of recruits who signed today, when they were interviewed, all kind of said a big part of the reason why they stuck with USC, or they chose USC, is because of how genuine Clay Helton was and how he sort of genuinely loved the program, believed in the program. They sort of bought into that genuineness. A couple of guys flat out said Clay Helton told him, explore all your options, go talk to all the other teams, make sure you get the pick right. And a lot of them just, they got the feeling that was very refreshing, which is probably why you got some of these surprises like Tufele or some of the other guys that a lot of folks I don't think thought USC was going to get, the USC ended up getting. I think they bought into being USC helps, but I think a lot of them really bought into Clay Helton as a coach and as a person, and I think that shines through. And certainly going on a heck of a run to end the season to show that he isn't just a nice guy; it works on the field too. That's certainly going to help you close as well. But I think not only is this a great class from a star perspective, but this is a great class for USC from a needs perspective. Mark, you and I have been talking about this all season. Throughout 2016, the USC's biggest weakness was going to be their defensive front seven. They got Stevie T transferred in from Utah. He helped bail them out, but he's gone now. He was a senior transfer. And this signing day, they picked up 6 or so guys on the defensive front. All 4 stars and 3 stars, all really talented. They got loaded up front. They this class really turned the defensive front seven into their biggest weakness, from their biggest weakness into what could be their biggest strength. And in rather sort of un-USC like fashion, they really nailed home the offensive line too. Clay Helton loves his balance. For all the talk about Sam Darnold and Juju Smith-Schuster and slinging the ball around, Clay Helton's still going to tell you, we want balance, we're going to run the ball. So for him to bring in guys like Austin Jackson and a bunch of really good, 3 in particular great offensive linemen, huge for USC, because they're losing a lot of talent on the O-line. So this is, I think, from a needs perspective, exactly what USC wanted. All of the stars and everything, that certainly is reason to get excited. But in a couple years, I think we're going to find out just how great this class was in terms of needs, not just, here's a bunch of flashy 5 stars, let's put them on the field, and then get beat by the likes of Stanford when they punch us in the mouth up front. I think, particularly looking at this class in 2017, I think that's very much going to start to change if you're USC.
And if nothing else, USC certainly wins every battle when a recruit takes off like 14 shirts and finishes with 1. So USC is 1 for 1.
We really didn't get any crazy stories today from National Signing Day. No stories of like a kid getting lost or couldn't find a fax machine or his parents.
No, that's the best I could do.
Yeah, it was just it was Levi Jones and some shirts. So it's, I guess that'll have to be the highlight of the day in terms of drama.
All right, everyone. If you want more in-depth coverage on USC football, including, of course, National Signing Day, you join Nick on Conquest Chronicles. You also join us for a more in-depth report on the National Signing Day class for USC at Mark Rogers TV, and the videos posted again at Conquest Chronicles. Then you can also supplement that with tons of articles and information on this big Trojan class that came all the way up to numbers 4 in the 24/7 Sports Composite, which is extremely impressive considering they weren't nudging out a bunch of wannabes out of those positions in the top 5. All right, Nick, we appreciate the time. We will join soon and discuss some more off-season news and notes.
Absolutely, Mark. Looking forward to it.